Hey, lovelies. I was thinking today about results, how we get results, and how much results are the things that motivate us to keep doing the thing that we're doing, whether that's exercise, whether that's food, whether that's something else. I'm super proud of my son who got a football award last night, and he had to work an entire year to see results on that kind of thing. And so often we have to bridge a gap between doing the practice and seeing the results. And so I was just thinking about, once you start getting the results, the motivation just skyrockets through the roof to keep going. But what do we do when we're in that gap between doing the practice but not seeing the result yet? And how do we keep going? And I think there's two things that I was thinking about. This is not rocket science, but this is great stuff to just keep revisiting, because we're all falling in and out of habits, aren't we? We're all falling in and out of our practices. And, sometimes I think we get complacent about the results that we're getting from daily practices. So sometimes, when I stop my yoga practice, for instance, and I spend a couple weeks not doing it, I realize that I am getting the results. I've just gotten so used to the results. They seem normal, but when I stop doing the practice, I stop getting the results. And that's motivating. But I think there's two things I do to bridge the gap when I'm trying to reestablish something, or when I'm trying to start something out before I see the results. One is that I read and listen to things of people who have gotten the results I want. And for me, a lot of times that's meditation based. I listen to teachers teach. I listen to, it's very motivating because it raises your faith. And I think faith is a funny word in our culture. It's associated with so many things, but there is something that we have to have, this belief that what we're doing is going to get the result even for us. And sometimes it can be really easy to feel like we're the one person it's not going to work for, or it worked for them but not for us. And so we really have to kind of feed that belief that if we keep going, we will see the result. And sometimes, there's all these kind of things in the meditation world now about visualize yourself in the results. Sometimes that's hard to do. And sometimes it's a little bit of an easier thing to actually read the story or listen to the experience from somebody who has gotten the result, so that you see it's just a normal person doing the thing and they've gotten the result that you want. So that's one thing. Listen and read to things that feed that faith in you so you can bridge that gap. The other thing I was thinking is sometimes what I have to do is just pretend I'm an adult. And what I mean by that, there's this wonderful book that I reread occasionally called Going Pro by Pressfield. And Going Pro is all about just what is an amateur and what is a pro? And a lot of times it made me think being pro is actually kind of like being an adult. It's about taking full responsibility for yourself. And I think when I have those voices in my head that are I don't want to, go for the run, go for the walk, do the things, sit for meditation, whatever it is, whatever I've, in my deep self realized this is what I want, and this is the practice that's going to lead to the results and the kind of life and the kind of experience that I want. Whenever I have that whiny voice that we all have, that's my kind of teenage kid voice. The voice of an adult is this is what I want. This is what I know is good for me. And it's okay to not see the result right away. I'm still going to do the thing because that's what I've decided to do for myself. So sometimes it's about just reminding myself that I'm an adult and not a teenager. And I can just do the thing for a little while without, getting the result right away. I hope that's helpful. I'd love to hear how you bridge that gap sometimes between starting a practice and before you see the results. How do you keep going? Tell me in the comments.